Hello, my beautiful narc-free family. So today I wanted to talk to you about the benefits of that smear campaign. One benefit in particular that I think is the most valuable. That's what I'm going to spend time with today. And before I get started, I want to send a special thank you to one of my subscribers. His name is Jason. He sent me a message and said that he wanted to be a blessing in my life and wanted to cash at me. And he sent me a very generous gift, and I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't normally leave my Cash App under my videos, and I wasn't going to until someone found value in it and asked for it. Now that someone has, I will be putting my Cash App down below my videos in the description. It will be Narc Free Cree. So thank you, Jason, and thank you to all of my subscribers who have been with me and encouraged me. So let's get into this. Some of y'all are wondering why the narcissist is so vindictive with you. Okay, and you're wondering why they have never left you alone. Those of you who have gotten free of them, or maybe you've gotten a divorce or you walked away and they have not left you alone. You may be dealing with a narcissist who is what I term a big boy or a big girl. You may be dealing with a malignant narcissist, okay? And these narcissists are higher up on the spectrum if that is the case. So this is where you get into stalking and all of this. And some of you may be being stalked, not in person, not them coming to your door. You may be being stalked online via your phone, your emails, tracking device on your vehicle, things like that, where to me that's even worse. In my situation, that's what's happened, because then you don't even know when they're there. You don't know if you got rid of them. The police can hardly help you, things like that. So to me, that's a worse form. Someone knowing everywhere you are, knowing every conversation you have, and people who should be able to help you not being able to help you, getting subpoenas, but the when they get the subpoena, or the warrant to check the towers for things that you can see that are going on that you have proof of, then the AT&T or whoever the company is that has that tower says, oh, we only keep that information for a few seconds, okay? So some of you are wondering, why is this person still coming around? And let me tell you, this is where the benefit of the smear campaign comes in, okay? So narcissists have this cycle of abuse. They're all the same with that. They're going to come in and love bomb you. Then they're going to start devaluing you. Some of y'all think this might just be after 3 to 6 months. I have heard people say that. Not always the case when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. Not always the case, okay? So they start devaluing you. It could be years later when they switch it up on you. You may have caused a narcissistic injury and didn't realize that you said something or did something, or you caught them in something. You called them out on their BS. Now all of a sudden they're furious with you because you are asking them to take accountability for their actions, which they don't plan on doing, okay? So at which point then, number 3, they discard you, okay? And then once they discard you, though, they probably are going to run that smear campaign on you, okay? But once they run that smear campaign, you know that their next step, or for those of you who don't know, their next step is to hoover back around. This is the benefit to that smear campaign. Baby, let me tell you, if they smear your name good enough, if they go ahead and put their foot on you and smash it and make it real dirty, real filthy, real nasty, guess what? They can never come back. And that's how narcissists easily do this to themselves. They're so busy thinking in the moment, not thinking long term, and they're so busy trying to win that they don't realize that they're cutting off their nose to spite their face. So now they've smeared your name and they've made it extra grimy. They put some sauce on that, okay? And made it where it's so terrible, okay? And they've gone on with their new supply, and they're out here doing their thing, and they're feeling pretty good. You know, they got this new supply, but see, that new supply at some point figures them out, or the new supply leaves, or something happens that doesn't go right with the new supply. The new supply is not you, okay? So you didn't know you were in an abusive relationship. For those of you that with a covert narcissist, there's no way you could know unless you were familiar already with narcissistic abuse, okay? So some of you may be in a different type of relationship, but you still didn't see it as abuse. Maybe it's what you saw growing up in your household. But once you were educated about this, now you know, and you can go. So maybe you leave the narcissist. Either way, whether they leave you or you leave them, they still find this way to run your name through the mud. And it's very, very hurtful what they do and what they say to people about you, and for you to try to keep your head up and still keep your sanity. And if there are children involved, they may be smearing your name to the courts. They're smearing your name, trying to take your kids from you. They are trying to destroy you. They're trying to isolate you with that smear campaign. But guess what? They've smeared you so bad, they forgot. This is when they forget about themselves, because they forgot that they were the ones who needed you and not the other way around. So now when they get to circling back around, or wanting to circle back around, they can't get to that grade A supply. They smeared your name so bad, they can't get to you. And this is why, because it puzzled me for a long time trying to figure out. You know, my attorney would be like, why is this person still doing this after all this time? And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm saying to my attorney, did you think he was gonna stop? I'm confused at how you thought he was gonna stop. He done did all this. Why would you think he was gonna stop? But the reason for that is because now that they can't come back, guess what? With this mental disorder that they have, it's your fault in their mind that they can't come back. It's your fault that they're not happy. It's your fault. If you wouldn't have left them, or if you would have acted good, if you would have did this, or you would have did that, then they wouldn't have to leave you, or they wouldn't have had to cheat on you, or da-da-da. They fix it in their head so that it is not them and they're not taking any accountability. It is all on you, okay? Forgetting that they were going to need to do that same cycle that they've been doing to everybody else and circle back around. So you're woke now. You're educated on what MPD is. You're educated on cluster B now. You're educated on the cycle of abuse. You've gotten educated. You've gotten free. And now they realize how much they need you, or cannot find a supply as good as you. And now they're just out there looking, all miserable. So when they're miserable, they're blaming it on you, which is how you end up getting these messages, text messages, where they're trying to irritate you about your children, or they're still trying to alienate you. It doesn't matter for the narcissist. If you are the parent with the superior right, they will still find a way to try to disturb your peace, even if you don't talk to them, not give your kids back, not respond to the text when you're supposed to pick them up, all of these sorts of things, because they still need control, okay? And in their need for control, and in all of their delusional thinking, they fail to prepare for what they need for the future. But by now, if you've gone through that cycle of abuse, you don't need them anymore. You already know what you're working with. This is not something you want to entertain or go back to ever in your life. But for them, now they don't have their supply, or the supply they're getting is not good, and now they want their good thing back. They want the person that's going to wash their clothes for them, or cook for them, or take care of their children. A lot of y'all, those of you who have children with a narcissist, they don't have the capability to love anybody, including their children. So when you were together, you were helping them with their children. If you're divorced or separated from a narcissist, now by court order, for those of them who even stay around in their life, they have to help you with your children in order to put on the facade that they're good and that they're doing. So they're going to mess with the other orders, but a lot of them will hang around just to get under your skin and still get the kids so that they can get under your skin, but not realizing that they really, really lost. They really, really lost, because now, probably when you were together, they didn't want you going anywhere and they weren't trying to keep the kids for you while you went places. But now that you're not together, guess what? They're keeping the kids, trying to save face in front of people because they smeared your name so bad. They can't now not get their kids, because then it would show that they were liars all along. So that's just one example of the way they cut off their nose despite their face. So for those of you that are going through that smear campaign, the smear campaign can be for your protection in the future. It will hurt you in the moment, but it will protect you from that Hoover in the future. They can't even come to you. Okay? So thank y'all for joining me. Some of you who have had this experience happen and know that this is real and this is how it works, I'd love it if you'd share your experience down below in the comments. Thank y'all so much for joining me here today at Narc Free. Bye bye, my beautiful Narc Free family. Mwah.